This lesson is P3a. Here you have a function 5 minus x squared. You are going to replace all the x by that value. Okay, so again, you're going to replace the x, all of them, if there are many x's. Okay, and then you replace it by 0. So in part A, you will put 0 in. 0 will be my x. Okay, so here's x. You will put 0 in. That's what I have right here. So 0 squared will be 0. 5 subtract 0 is just 5. Okay. You can write this as your answer, or you can leave it as a point. So 0 will be my x, 5 will be my y. One more time. 0 would be my x, 5 would be the y. Okay. Next example, very similar, just different value. Here I have square root 5. So put the square root 5 in. Okay. Where do I put it? In this x right here. So replace the x by square root 5. Okay. So square root and square cancels out. So I just have 5, but I have a negative in front. So it becomes negative 5. So 5 subtract 5 will be 0. Okay. So here's my x. X is square root 5, and the y, which is the 0. Okay. So again, you can leave this as your answer, or you can write it as a point. Okay, so be very careful. Next example, very similar, just a little bit more algebra. Okay, so here we want to do m minus 1. Well, we want to know what m minus 1 is, so plug it in. So 5 minus m minus 1 square. Well, there are 2 of them. How do I know there's 2? Because of this square. Okay. So now there are 1 m minus 1 and m minus 1 again, because there are 2. How do I know there are 2? Because of this number. Okay. Now multiply this out or distribute. So m times m is m squared. M times negative 1 is negative m. Negative 1 and m is negative 1m. And then negative 1 and negative 1 gives me plus plus 1. Sorry. So negative 1 and negative 1 gives me plus 1. Combine like terms, I have m squared minus 2m plus 1. However, there's a minus in front. So minus times m squared is minus m squared. Minus times negative 2m, positive 2m. Minus times negative times positive 1 is negative 1. Combine like terms, so I should have negative m squared, 2m plus 4. Or you can write it like this if you want. This right here will be my x, so here's my x, and this right here would be my y, so this is my y. Okay, now later on, if we want to know a specific m, then we can plug in any values for m, and it's still gonna come out as a point. Okay, so very similar to part B and part A.